of the world, now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Hi, it's Ann Perry. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about the energy of the number 1. This is the first in a series of several videos that I'm going to be creating talking about days of birth, okay? Rather than full birth dates, we're just going to look at the day, the actual day that you were born on. So in this case, we're going to be talking about what it means to have been born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th. Okay, so first of all, what does the day of birth reveal about us? Well, the day that you were born on reveals an added gift of potential for your life experience in this time around. And it was chosen by you. You actually chose the day that you were born on. It's a sub-lesson or an influence to be learned in this lifetime. It's the number which actually stands behind the life path number, acting as a support, if you will. So it offers us clues as to what we agreed to learn in this lifetime. It talks about some talents that we have, some hidden talents and hidden gifts and natural abilities that we're bringing forward. But it talks about the sub-lessons that help us to learn the big-ass lessons that come with the life path number, okay? So what are the characteristics of the number 1? The positive characteristics of the number 1. There's both sides to each number, right? We have the positive side and the negative side. So naturally, we want to act in the positive if we can. So if you were born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th, you potentially are somebody who is a leader. You would prefer to be a leader rather than a follower. Somebody who was born on the 2nd, for example, might be somebody who would prefer to follow rather than lead. So these people are the inventors, the initiators, they are the pioneers, they're the visionaries, they love to create. And they're recognized as original thinkers, okay, who are always looking for independence. They're very much the entrepreneurs around us. They come up with the ideas and they're self-starters. And they're often looking for recognition for their efforts. So they want to be at the top of their game all the time. They're very, very driven people. So the negative side of that, if you're born with 1 energy, sometimes you can act to the negative side of that, which says that you can be overly dominant, okay? A little bit too aggressive, a little too driven, a little too overly focused on your own personal success. Remember, it's about independence. Anybody who's number 1 wants to be number 1. So you just have to have things all in balance, right? So sometimes you can be a bit irrational and even a little bit stubborn. All right, so let's take the example of the positive and the negative potential of the birthday number 19. Now, I could have done all examples of all of them, but trying to keep these videos short, we're just going to look at the 19th here to give you an idea of how this is done. So the positive aspects of the number 19, let's break that down. The 1 equals independence, a creative nature, very ambitious kind of a person. Those are all good things. The 9 would be the humanitarian, being very generous and patient, sympathetic, and focused on other people, okay? Being focused on other people is kind of contrary to somebody who has the 1 energy, because the 1 energy is sort of all about them. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. That's okay, so long as you have other areas in your life where you're balanced and you're able to give to other people. So again, all things in balance, right? But the negative side of the 19, the 1, is all about being very dominant. It could be somebody who's become very arrogant, very codependent rather than independent, the opposite side, or even lazy rather than driven. And the 9 in the negative can be somebody who's very self-absorbed rather than being absorbed on other people and being the humanitarian that is the positive side of the 9. They can be insensitive and very self-serving. Now, on top of all of that, there comes in the karmic debt related to the 19. So if you're looking at somebody's date of birth and you see that they're born on the 19th, you know that they are here paying back for bad behavior in a previous lifetime. So these guys who are born on the 19th are typically people who weren't very focused on the other guy. They were way too focused on themselves, very, very driven in a previous lifetime. They stomped on people like bugs and made doormats out of everybody just to be successful, okay? So in this lifetime, what they're learning is to be, to ask for help when they need it. Sometimes the person born on the 19th feels like they can't ask for help because then it shows a weakness, right? Because they like to be the leader. They like to be on top of it all. You can hear my dog groaning in the background. She's heard this before. Thanks, Piper. So the 19 karmic debt says, you know, you worked really hard in a previous lifetime, you're very driven, but in this lifetime, you're making up for bad behavior. So this time around, you need to be a little bit more focused on the other guy. That's the 9, right? That you need to be a leader to the other guy so that you can be number 1 in this lifetime, understanding that their success is your success as well. Okay, you might want to check out my karmic debt video to understand a little bit about that further. All right, that's it for today. I'm trying to keep these short and sweet. I would really love to keep in touch with you guys. Any comments, any questions, post them down below. I try to answer everybody when I can. Sorry. My dog is getting really bored. You can reach me at AnnPerryNumerologist.com. I've got a blog there that I try to be active in. I have a newsletter that you can sign up for. There's going to be a very nice little surprise on the newsletter sign up very soon, so you can check that out. And that's AnnPerryNumerologist.com. I've also got my Facebook page. You're welcome to follow me there. And I sure hope that you will subscribe and share my videos with anybody you think might be interested. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time to stop by today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which is going to focus on the number 2, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th. So if you were born on any of those days, you might want to tune in. Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a great one. Bye for now.